is Wednesday, my dudes.
Welcome to another episode of Wednesday Toast, a podcast about comic book stuff where we talk about all kinds of comic book related stuff. My name is Lex, also known as Wednesday Poll, and I'm here with my co-host with the most toast, Simon Toast, also known as Simon. I'm not going to put your last name,
real name,
or your social security number. I'm not going to do all that. Not even tell me that your birthday's coming up sometime in the future.
Yeah,
I can give all that information.
I'm a Libra. Can you believe it?
I can tell.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about this. This is the sidebar for people because that's what our show should be called, the
sidebar show.
But I did training at my work a few weeks ago, and it was all women. This is not a slight against women. I love women, but they were like, talking about signs. What's your sign? And I was just like, I don't know, man. I'm a Cancer. I don't know what that means.
Stop. That's my sign.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know what that means. And they were talking about like, what's the most important thing to you? And they were talking about faith and stuff. And I was just like, not saying that faith isn't important in my life. I'm not saying faith isn't important in my life. Don't get me wrong. Coming from someone that was a staunch shit talker about stuff like that, getting married, having kids, that raised my kids in church, but I was just like, I'm not that person. I'm not like the I know everything. I'm just not that person to talk about it. It's like my own business.
Yeah.
We don't talk about church. We don't talk about politics.
Yeah. What's your favorite Bible verse? That's very personal.
Yeah. You don't need to know I'm voting for Donald J. Trump. That's my business.
Yeah.
Safety of America is my business.
Yeah. We don't get political on this show.
We do, though.
Yeah, kind of.
We're a black guy talking to a white guy. We got the woke mind virus. That's our show.
Two sides of the street, man. I'm obviously the Democrat, and you're obviously the Republican.
You see my Texas hat?
Yeah.
I didn't realize people hated Texas so much until I got online and people were like, why would anyone live in Texas?
It's all they see of Texas is like the politics. I have a friend, he lives in Ohio, I think. Like I'm in a group chat with him and this other dude from Chicago. The dude from Chicago like does not understand what it's like to be surrounded by shitty Republicans all the time. I'm like, You think that Texas is like this thing, and they're like, oh yeah, it's probably fine. I'm like, no, it's weird. I'm telling
people
you,
think,
like,
and also people think social media Republicans are real life Republicans, and they're not.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely.
They're not walking around the streets like talking shit. They're not. Flag. Yeah, they're not. They're really docile and usually scary. Like they're kind of scared people.
Yeah, that's why they're
Republicans. They like to stay in their gated. They stay in their gated communities where people can't eat their pets. They don't mess around with people very often. Yeah. They get on social media and like really let it shine, but those people don't talk. They're introverts. They don't say shit.
Yeah, it is weird because I've had plenty of friends that are Republican. I found out later. I'm like, well, whatever.
One of my dear friends is a Republican, and you know him. He's a listener to the show, and he has been on the show.
He's a bitch.
but like, I feel like politics is the least interesting thing about him. Like, I really don't give a fuck how you vote. I think me having an opinion about one person's vote, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't matter.
Well, and we could talk about this all day, but that's the problem with the two-party system is like, I agree with one thing this guy says, so I have to vote for him.
Yeah,
over this other guy who I don't agree with.
You're voting for Kamala Harris. She's not doing this, and this, and I'm like, I get it. But
yeah, I ain't voting that way because I don't like any of that.
Yeah, saying I'm voting one side doesn't mean I'm like that's the difference. I'm not voting because I'm like I'm 100%. Blue, baby.
Just voting the closest to what I care about.
If you're listening to the show and you're like, Oh, wait. I thought these guys were
Is this the
hardcore
right?
Republicans.
Is this the right show?
You're probably in the wrong place. But also,
Yeah.
I don't really give a shit. We don't talk about politics. Something's right. That's our different show.
Yeah, that's for the Wednesday.
That's called the Wokes Day. Oh.
The Wednesday vote list.
Welcome back to the show. If you don't know, Joker, Laura Lee. What the fuck is it called? Joker,
Folie, Deux.
Folie du Français came out this past week.
Omelette du fromage.
I was ready to hate on this movie out the gate because the amount of dude bro cinephiles that came out for the first one, I mean, it was like insane. I saw the movie in theaters with my wife, came home as usual. I usually, no matter what, I'll tweet out any movie I'll see. I'll tweet out the Joker was ass, and then I'll like autocorrect it with my real review under it because clickbait works, right?
Yeah.
I'll do it with any movie. And I did it, and then I said it was ass, and I was like, it was all right. It was kind of depressing. I don't think I'll ever watch it again. And that's like my gauge on movies. If I will watch it again, it's good. If I never have a desire to watch it again, it's not good. But not saying it's bad. I know it's a cop out, but it's like I get how people like it, but it's just not for me. And so I was pretty staunch in my opinions about the Joker. Like I fucking didn't hate it, but I'm like, you couldn't pay me to watch this movie again.
Yeah.
Because it's like scary movies for me. We talked about this when we were gaming the other day. I don't watch scary movies in theaters because I'm not going to pay to be scared.
Yeah.
Just not.
Yeah, same.
Sorry. I'm not going to pay to watch Joker and be fucking more depressed than I already am. Like I went into Joker depressed. And I walked out of the Joker just walking into ongoing traffic.
Yeah, I'm more depressed. If I wanted to pay to be scared, I would pay for like to share needles with a prostitute or something. Like I'll pay for that.
Real scary stuff.
Yeah, take a risk.
Real scary, real life scary stuff. That's great.
Shit that happens every day, right?
Yeah. Things that are applicable to my life.
Yeah, I was talking to Nicole about the first Joker because I remember watching it and being, and we'll talk about it more in a second, but being similar to this as far as like the whoever they have for the director of photography, like, oh, this is everything's framed nicely and the colors are really bright. It's very nice looking film. Yeah. But I was talking to her about it and I was like, and I know this is not a hot take. People have been saying this for a while, but I'm like, have you seen Taxi Driver? And Nicole's like, no. I'm like, Joker is Taxi Driver with a Joker skin. Like, that's all it is. Yeah. It is that movie. Almost.
It really is. And it's not like, that's not a slight. It's not a slight. And like you said, people have said it. It's not a new revelation or anything like that, but it really is. And it's not to say that that's a bad thing. Tropes and storylines get retold all the time. Taxi Driver was a good movie for what it was. Obviously it works if you can reskin it and make people think it's a genius movie. Obviously it works, right? But for me, one of my biggest gripes, and this is like stupid, but one of my biggest gripes is when movies or comic book movies specifically will package something as X, Y, and Z as like a selling point, right? Mm. The X-Men Fox franchise was notorious for this. They did X-Men Days of Future Past, X-Men Apocalypse. Like they did all these, like, it wasn't Age of Apocalypse, but they did like these selling points, especially Days of Future Past, that it was this classic story. And then it just wasn't that.
Yeah.
At all. Like I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine with it being different cinematically, but you were specifically using this title to bring people in and it just being a different movie. Mm-hmm. Right. And the first Joker was like, hey, this is Joker. And it would have been a fine movie if it had nothing to do with DC Comics and the Joker. It would have been a modern telling of Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Like a remake.
Yeah.
But like to just like put a bunch of DC stuff in there for the sake of like these nerds, these Batman nerds love grounded, gritty stuff, right? Let's put
they
face
love
paint
the
on
Joker on his own. That's what they love.
God. He's gonna fuck around. He's gonna piss off a little Batman kid. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne was in the first one.
Yeah, not in this one. Weird.
Bitch.
Not mentioned anything in this one actually. So the first one was a lot like if you ever watched Gotham. I remember watching Gotham, being like, I kind of like this first season. I'm like why are they bringing in that character? Like, I don't care about that character unless they're interacting with Batman.
I got a weird thing. I like the CW shows, and I like Gotham, and Doom Patrol. I don't lump Doom Patrol in with those because Doom Patrol is actually a good show. Yeah, but I watched every episode of Arrow and Flash till the end. Like, I knew it was bad. Even Titans, I don't think was good, but I fucking loved Titans. Someone called me out on the internet earlier today. They said I like shitty stuff, and I've never discredited that. I agree. That's my thing.
I'm pretty sure that's your epitaph.
Yeah, that's my thing. I like crappy shows.
I've been known to say that I like shitty things. Yeah. It's your tagline.
It is. The thing is, I consider myself, I'm a self-proclaimed artist, right? And that's why I appreciate the artistry of the first one and the cinematography and just how beautiful it really was. It's a beautiful movie.
It's just clear. It's so crisp.
From what I've seen of the second one, it looks amazing. So that part of me has an appreciation for both of them. Similar to the Batman. I thought the Batman was a beautiful movie.
Mm-hmm.
My complaints about it are totally different. But, and for the record, before we get into this, I did not see this movie yet.
Simon saw it.
Simon saw it. So we'll talk about it. And we'll dig into that in a second. But Gotham, I don't even know where I was going with the Gotham thread. I just like crappy stuff.
I started with the Gotham. What I was saying is like, Gotham was an interesting show because I like to know about Jim Gordon. I thought that was kind of funny. What bothered me about that was when they started bringing in major
Mr. Freeze.
Major Gotham villains that I feel like they would have been fucking ancient by the time Bruce Wayne was old enough.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the problem with those, it's the same thing as like Sony doing villain movies without Spider-Man. It's like a lot of those villains are because of Spider-Man.
Yeah, also, I don't give a shit about their motivations.
Yeah.
Especially Spider-Man villains. I don't care.
Yeah, you're a bad guy.
What I will say is, like, when you watch like the Batman the Animated Series or anything like that, like, Batman is not an interesting character on his own. What makes him interesting is his villains, but you have to have that interaction to
Even
make
his
it
comic
interesting.
Books are the same way. His rogues gallery is what makes him.
Yeah, but he's still like, he has to play that part in it.
Yeah.
It's not, Joker is not, he's just a psychopath.
It's
like
cat and mouse.
Yeah.
Like, you watch for the cat and mouse. It's watching mouse or watching cat isn't as interesting.
Yeah. I want to see.
Like, I have a cat. He's fucking boring.
Yeah. Just licks himself a lot.
And the Joker is this thing. It's just, it's like they put enough references to DC stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I am not one of those people that are like, you got to have it directly from the comic panel to the page. I'm really not like that. I am all for like artistic interpretation. I'm all for it. But this really feels like the only connection in the first, I'm talking specifically about the first one. The only connection is the name, and he puts makeup on at the end.
Yeah. His name, Arthur Fleck, also, but only the Killing Joke.
Yeah. And they live in fictional Gotham. That's the only connection. And maybe you don't need a lot of connections, but it's like,
yeah,
the appeal to me, and I often say, and Simon and I have talked about it numerous times, is like Joker is crazy overdone. His iconic villain status is just milled. So bad. And this is coming from a TMNT fan, which they milk the crap out of that. But the appeal of that character is the mystery.
I was just thinking they bring up milking the turtles in the new movie, so I wonder if that was like a slight about milking the franchise.
I wonder if it was. Damn. We'll have to revisit that on another.
Yeah.
The appeal to me for Joker is the mystery of his past. I mean, Heath Ledger really nailed it with like the multiple background stories and whatnot. And for me, that's always been interesting. It's like, you don't need to know the background of Joker.
Yeah. You want to know how I got these scars? I stabbed an old guy who used to wear makeup, and then I cut my face in the middle of a hallway.
And it's like, is Joker the sequel Todd Phillips' way of like saying, oh, the wrong crowd really latched on to the first movie. So I need to
this guy look like a bitch.
Yeah, I need to really separate from them. Or was this his whole plan? Or was it just corporate greed? Like that movie, it got Oscars, we made billions of dollars. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga in it.
Breaking 2. Joker Bugaloo.
For the record, I didn't see it. I probably would have. Just to be contrarian. You know, if people were like, oh man, this is a masterpiece, DC did it again, I probably would have, just to be like, oh, this shit sucks. But now that everyone's saying this shit sucks, I'm like, my novelty's ran out.
Yeah, it's like, I can't even be contrarian. Now
you're stealing my thing.
Best movie I've ever seen. So just to get into the movie, I kind of want to breach that subject. The first thing, I didn't want to see it either because I'm like, that movie's gonna suck ass. The first one was
it didn't need a sequel.
No, if anything didn't need a sequel, it's The Joker, and The Joker was a movie that could have been something else that wasn't tacked onto DC. You know, like you said. So
when they said it was getting a sequel, I was like, that's weird. My thoughts aside from the movie, like, I thought it ended perfectly. It being an Elseworlds thing was like, that's great. It's on its own. Yeah. Making a sequel almost diminishes the first one.
Yeah, for sure. And then they're like, it's going to be a musical and it's going to have Lady Gaga. I'm like, don't care. Really don't care. I like musicals. But so I didn't want to see it. My wife's like friend that was going to see it with her canceled on her. She's like, I don't want to waste this ticket. You want to go? And I'm like, no, but I'll go with you. So you don't have to sit through this shitty movie by yourself. So, within the first 5 seconds, so the movie opens with like a Looney Tunes thing. It's like Warner Brothers.
Spoilers, in case you guys have not seen it, or
this is barely a spoiler. Like, you won't care about this.
Well, just in case we do, I'm just putting it out there just in case we do.
Spoiler alert for everyone that's not going to go see this movie. Anyway.
Amber alert. I mean, spoiler alert.
Yeah. So, it starts with like a Warner Brothers, like, terribly animated. It just looked weird, but it's supposed to make fun
of the first movie.
Not really. No, not really.
Okay.
It starts with like he's going on the Joker show or whatever, and he comes out. He's like this Joker's doing this like weird walk that he's doing, and I leaned over to my wife and I was like, I hate this. Because it goes through this thing. He gets like, it's like Joker versus his shadow. And the shadow puts on makeup, but he's trying to be the star, and they're singing and they're dancing. He's dancing with his shadow.
Yeah.
And then the cops come and beat the hell out of the Joker.
I saw that part. I did see the opening.
Yeah. And then
Then it just like curtains opens to like real life.
Yeah, that's the opening. And then they're emptying out their piss pots. They got this good ass actor in there. He's been in a lot of stuff. I can't remember his name. He's like the dad of the guy that was in Dread. That was like he had the robotic eyes.
Oh yeah.
What's the fucking name of that movie? Anyway, the one with the robot. He's in that too. What's the name of that movie? Deus Ex Machina. Ex Machina. That's the name of that movie. Sorry. Anyway, and it's just terrible from there on out. It's just not a good movie. There's like Arthur Fleck is in this insane asylum, and it's got Kathleen Keener, who's also really good. She plays his lawyer. He gets more and more confident as the movie goes on, because Lady Gaga, he meets Lady Gaga at this like music class that they have in Arkham, and she gives him this bullshit story about like how she got there. She tried to burn down a building with her parents inside or something.
Yeah, her parents suck, but then you find out, spoiler, her parents were not sucky. They actually,
yeah, I think she checked herself in to meet him or something, and she's just a groupie. So she's just a serial killer groupie in the end. That's what she is. And he goes to court. He fires his lawyer. He's his own lawyer. He's like a weirdo. He's like terrible at that.
They bring the guy in from the first one that he didn't kill, right?
The dwarf guy.
I was gonna say Squanch.
Little person. Squanch. I don't know. And like he has like this fan base. They bring Zazie Beetz in. But yeah, he's got a
That's
fan
the only
base.
reason I would see that movie.
Yeah, same.
She's perfect.
She really is.
I mean,
do you hear the weakness in my voice just now?
Weird to say, man, but
Zazie Beetz is just
even my wife is like, yeah, she's pretty. I'm like,
she can get it.
How dare you?
Yeah. It's weird. It's got Harvey Dent. He's like this really weirdly posh, like he makes this face a lot.
So let's talk about that. Okay. Spoilers again. Simon, what did you think about the movie?
The movie, so first of all, I fell asleep. So there was a portion of the movie I don't remember. Yeah. I leaned back and I was like, I'm sorry, I can't pay attention to this. It's
on a Monday, listen, I don't give a shit who you are. And maybe I'm not the uber nerd that I've always thought I am. Maybe I'm not. But like, if you work Monday through Friday, and you wake up like at a 9 to 5 hour, like to get ready for work, and then you go to a late movie. I'm talking like 7, 8, 9 late movie.
Yeah, 7.
You're falling asleep, man.
It was just so boring. Fuck, it was boring.
I fall asleep. I think I fell asleep in Infinity War, man. That movie was like 6 hours long. I think I fell asleep in that at some point.
That's crazy. It just
again. I fell asleep in Man of Steel through 90% of that movie.
I feel like that's easy to fall asleep in. This one, it was just like nothing is happening. Everything is happening slowly. And I get like you want to build anticipation, but there's like no payoff to that anticipation.
So I
took notes from the Batman just to say that.
When we first started recording today, I said that I wouldn't want to see this movie because I don't want to pay to be depressed. As in the same token of like me not wanting to watch scary movies because I don't want to pay to get scared. When I was in high school and like junior high school, that was the thing to do in my small town. It's like everybody went to the movies on the weekend. And
or drive on the kill or drive on Ken.
Yeah. It was predominantly like anytime there was a huge scary movie released, everybody would go to the theaters. And that was it. If you didn't go, you were a loser. And so I always hated scary movies. right? I just did. I still do to this day. Have since I was a kid. And so I would look up, I would like, before Wikipedia, whatever, I would look up whatever I could, get the entire movie plot
Yeah,
before I would go see the movie. And so, like, even though there would be jump scares, I would still be like more ready than anyone else, right?
Yeah, it's funny because Wikipedia didn't exist. So I'm curious what you were looking
at. I don't know what it was. Ask Jeeves.
Yeah, probably. He like goes to the library and reads the.
Ask Jeeves. What happens in Saw? Saw 1.
That's so funny. Hostel was the one. I had to walk out of Hostel. I was like,
that's how old. That's how old we are. I almost walked out of Strangers was the last movie I paid to see in theaters.
Strangers.
It was based off the real life like Manson murders, where they were going by and murdering people. Liv Tyler and her husband come back home after a night at like a wedding, and he goes to get cigarettes, and she's like in the house by herself. And then throughout the entire movie, it's just like a guy in the background, just like in their house.
Ooh, sounds.
When I was at that theater with the girl,
oh shit, yeah, that looks creepy.
When I was at the theater with the girl, there was like 9 people at least that walked out and never came back.
Okay, so I thought this was The Purge.
This movie scared the absolute piss out of me. To this day, I can't watch that movie.
Does it have Cyclops in it?
No. Yes. Yes.
Who's the husband?
Cyclops is the friend.
Oh.
I
thought the husband was James Marsden.
I think James Marsden's a friend. Maybe. I also could be wrong. The husband is. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I just remember being like going home and not being able to sleep. Like there's somebody in the house.
Yeah.
And so
Hereditary.
So before
that's how I felt about that.
I saw Hereditary, but
no thanks, man.
I looked it up. I never stopped doing that. If I was going to see a scary movie, I would look it up. No shame in my game. I read the entire thing on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
And so with this movie, I did the same thing. And I treated it the same way. If I'm going to be depressed for 2.5 hours, I want to know what's going on. I don't want any surprises. I want to go in with the trauma. I don't want to leave with it. So I read the entire synopsis of Joker. And there were people obviously spoiling it. And I'd never really shy away from that because it doesn't ever really affect, as yet. So far, it hasn't affected me. I'm like getting spoiled on a movie and watching it. I think Endgame, reading that Iron Man sacrifices himself before the movie, maybe it was like, oh.
Spoiler alert. Glenn Howerton is in The Strangers. I'm still on this.
Watch it, man. It's scary.
Nah, I'm definitely good on that.
Yeah, it's scary, man. Like kind of creepy, like real life scary.
So it's based on the Manson murders?
I think so. One of those serial killers.
Well, the serial killers. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Watch it, man. It's good. It was a good movie. Just scared the piss out of me. To this day, it still does.
Oh, no, this looks scary.
It's super scary, man. Oh. So Simon saw it. I didn't. But I did look up everything that I could find about it. Because it'll be on streaming in like a week and a half.
Damn, stabbed this girl while she was sitting in a chair.
Yeah, that sucks.
She die? She make it through? Nah, she's got to. If it's based on that, she's got to be dead.
She died. Yeah. Spoiler alert. Everybody dies in that movie. Except for the bad guys. Take it away, which is even scarier. Simon saw Joker. I'm going to do fromage. We were talking the other day. I really like Lady Gaga, so that was an appeal to me. And maybe I thought that they were trying to do like the fan base thing, like
yeah,
Taylor Swift fans will just do whatever for Taylor Swift.
I think so too, and that's why they sang "Shallow" in Joker too. In
Did they really?
shallow. No,
No wonder that movie sucked.
I don't remember anything that they sang, and I don't know if they were songs specifically written for Joker, but they're all kind of jazzy. There was one part where she's singing, she's doing the Gaga thing. She's like playing piano and
I do like her Gaga thing.
Yeah, she's getting it, and that was cool. And it's like at that point, and my wife even said like, I'm pretty sure that was a Lady Gaga movie with the Joker. Like the Joker, like that's her movie, and he was just there. I'm like, yeah, because you see this thing where she's like, they're singing this thing as if they're married and they're doing like a family show thing. And
like a variety show type thing.
Kind of, but it's like, and he just all he does is tap dance once. The rest of it, he's just dancing and smoking a cigarette. He's blowing the smoke in the air and like leaning back, like in every trailer you saw for the movie. That's all he does.
I feel like they took everything from the trailer, like every meme type thing or every commercialized thing from the first movie, and then just amplified it for this one.
Yeah, mostly, but not the dancing. Unless I fell asleep, they did not dance down the staircase.
That was the biggest selling point, I think, for everyone.
That what's weird about this is like, and you know, you mentioned earlier, the incel crowd got behind this movie because it's like, oh, this guy's like trodden, and he's like, oh, he's had a shitty thing, and all of a sudden he comes out of it and he decides to be a serial killer, and now he's all confident.
Anarchist. He's an anarchist. He's sticking it to the man, right? The man sucks. He's not woke. He's sticking it to the woke mind virus.
Yeah, it's funny at one point, like they're in the courthouse and he's about to be sentenced to death. And they have like the judge definitely is Martin Scorsese. Like he's got the big, thick black glasses and gray hair, like 100% Martin Scorsese.
I love it.
And a bomb goes off because it's like Donald Trump. Like he says something and people are like, oh, it's not what he meant on this side. And then some people are like, no, he said it. We got to do it. So he said, I just want to blow it all up and start over. And the next day, when he's giving his closing statement, blows up. Oh, guess where Two-Face is? So half of his face fucking blown off. I mean, you never see any more of that guy other than him just being poshly dealing with an explosion that just went off.
But do we see Two-Face? That's what I have not.
No. Like you see, he has scars on his face from the explosion, but he's like shell shocked.
So it could be Harvey Dent's dad from the Nolan verse.
No, he's definitely Harvey Dent in this movie. He's District Attorney Harvey Dent.
But it could be District Attorney Harvey Dent Sr.
Yeah,
what we don't know is District Attorney Harvey Dent Jr. was in the Nolan
verse.
All we need is my dad was District Attorney and his name was Harvey.
You know, my dad always said, you live long enough to
exactly.
Either die a hero or live long enough to become the
also hero. His name was Harvey.
Yeah, weird. Also, he had a scar on the side of his face caused by an explosion.
Yeah. Also, an explosion. Yeah. Also, he fought.
I have this genetic disorder of being apt to being exploded. It happened to my father. It happened to me. Like I opened.
I know it's like a derogatory
doubloons.
Huh? A derogatory term. I think gypsy is a derogatory term.
Did you say gypsy?
I said gypsy. Yeah.
Just cut that out of your side.
Nah, I'm not gonna cut it out. I call my mother-in-law gypsy because I think she is. Like stereotypical gypsy.
This is like I tell you your future.
Yeah, like Esmeralda from Hunchback of Notre Dame, gypsy lady.
She was hot though.
I'm just kidding. Romani people, I think that's who.
I don't know.
Slated by that. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, we don't mean it. Anyway, so when the courthouse blows up, he's like shell shocked. The Joker, Arthur. And he goes outside and there's like protesters and a guy that's kind of like Jared Leto Joker. Like he's dressed up exactly like Arthur Fleck was as the Joker, like red suit.
Oh, the first movie suit. Yeah.
But he like, hold on, we got to get you in this car, and they try to escape, and he just like he decide he at the end of it,
Because he
like,
gives up. Yeah, he gives
Yeah.
up on being Joker, essentially.
Yeah.
Is what the people are talking about. The Todd Phillips making this movie kind of an FU to the people that are obsessed about the first one.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's not what I was trying to do. Like, this is not, no, he doesn't want to be
Yeah, it's not a
a
glorification
martyr
of
type thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with Grace Randolph. She is
Is that a cereal?
she's a pop culture sort of person, right? She usually has these fucking terrible takes. But she actually had a good take about this movie. It was like, Todd Phillips doesn't understand women. He doesn't understand mental illness. He doesn't understand like anything.
Todd Phillips wrote the line, I'm here for the gangbang, and I'll never take him seriously.
Yeah. It's like he doesn't understand this stuff, and he didn't get any sort of outside input from anybody. So it's like this movie is a wash.
Yeah. He said, "What's I forget people's names. I'm terrible. Who's the new DC guy? Who's the new DC guy?
James Gunn.
Yeah, he was like, James Gunn didn't have any input. This is all me. And I'm like, I wouldn't take that credit.
Thank God. Almost. I think even James Gunn is like, yeah, man, you're right.
Yeah, terrible.
I've seen some of the Snyder Bros be like, this is what DC is like under James Gunn. And everyone's like, no, this is a pre-existing thing, man. You can't lump that in. You can't. I'm not saying James Gunn is going to completely knock it out of the park. I'm not saying that he's going to create this, because I don't even like all of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. So it's like, I'm not saying that he's this.
I love them all.
I just do not like that second one. But I'm not saying that he's this perfect creator. But I'm saying like, it's very evident that there were pre-existing DC things. He came in at a weird time to quote unquote fix things. It's like, they hire you to be the new manager of a restaurant. What do you have on the menu right now? All we have is shit.
Yeah, shit sandwiches.
All we got is shit, man. And he's like, all right, it's my first day. I'm going to try to create a restaurant.
Yeah, let's cut the shit steak.
Let's cut the shit.
We'll take out the shit steak. We have to keep the shit sandwiches right now. We have to have something on the menu.
For some reason, we have a few customers that love these shit sandwiches. So we're going to try to transition them into something
shit sandwiches in town.
Yeah. We're going to try to transition into something better, but we're not going to completely cut them off. We're going to keep things that we're working on. And it's also, you think about people that work on these projects. I feel like I want to be optimistic, and I want to be think about these things positively. I want to be totally nihilistic and negative all the time. So I would imagine that someone coming into a studio like this would see that oh, Todd Phillips. Yes, James Gunn would be like, I have my idea for Batman. I have my idea for Joker. I have my idea for all these things. But you see these people put their everything into these projects. And it's not even just the writers of these things. They're all the way down to personal assistants, people that are working, that are paying their bills with all these projects. And they're like, yeah, let's do them.
Yeah, you can't.
Very distinct difference between
you can't cancel everything. Like they just got rid of Batgirl.
Batgirl tested positively. They did not test Joker. They didn't test it. They refused to test it.
Because it's art.
Yeah. Because the first one made $1 gazillion. It doesn't matter. This one's going to make at least $1 million. $1 million.
Flew way too close to the sun. Because the first one was an okay movie. If you disregard the fact that it's supposed to be Joker, which is usually if I watch it, and I've only watched it once, I have not, same as you, I have not gone back to watch it again.
I did try to watch the second. I couldn't. and I will agree with you. I don't think it's a bad movie. As much shit I give it, I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's a bad Joker movie? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Do I think it's
like,
a bad DC movie? Yeah, 1000%. Do I think it's a good movie on its own? Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Mostly the director of photography, whoever the fuck that guy is,
needs a fucking raise. Put him on other stuff. Put him on like an actual comic book movie.
It's good, man. It's beautiful.
Put him on the second Batman. Maybe I'll watch that one. I can't wait. I can't wait for that one to suck. And be like, yeah, I'm back,
baby. That first one was a good movie. Like, I've seen it like 3 times. It's a good movie.
I'll try to watch it a second time. But the
just
thing
slow.
The thing is, Mark Strong, is that his name?
I don't know.
Balls guy, who was the bad guy in Shazam?
Yeah.
Is that his name? He was Sinestro.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Mark Strong?
I don't know.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
He was the bad guy in Shazam. I think he played Sinestro. He was my pick to be Mr. Freeze. And this is like lofty thinking. He was my pick to be Mr. Freeze in the Batman sequel, right?
Mm-hmm.
They casted him, and he's already starred in this Matt Reeves Batman universe as a replacement for Carmine Falcone in the Penguin show for newspaper articles. Like, he's not even in the movie. He's not even in the show. Hate it, man. I hate comic book movies. I just hate it. I hate comic book movies, man. It shows. Penguin's been pretty good. But we're talking about Joker. I think the main topic of conversation, like, people have varying opinions about the movie, whether it be a SVU episode or a musical or whatever. I think one of the big talking points is the ending. The guard at and this is coming from someone that hadn't seen it. The guard says, "Hey, Arthur, you have a visitor." Walks him down the hall, and then Heath Ledger comes out, which is weird that they got his likeness for this movie.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger comes out and he tells him a joke, and then he murders him. And then cuts his face, leading into the Nolan Batman universe.
Yeah, I guess. He laughs like a weirdo. Like, not
and
even
this is I'm lying. If anyone's listening to this episode, they're like, what the fuck? What, that happened in the movie? It didn't happen in the movie. Everything happened except for the Heath Ledger thing, right? The guard walks him down to the hall. The other inmate comes out, tells him a joke, and then murders him, and then cuts his face, right?
Yeah.
That happens. I was joking about the CGI Heath Ledger.
Lawrence Sher. Sorry, I'm looking at the director of photography. He did Joker, Hangover, and Garden State.
I believe it, man. I mean, I think those are all beautifully done movies. I know you don't think of Hangover being.
It is a great.
Beautiful.
I mean,
I think it's cinema. Nice. Yeah, I think it looks great.
Yeah,
it's like a bro movie for sure, but I think it looks great. Garden State's good.
I love Garden State. Yeah,
Garden State's good. It's a good movie, man. But that's what happens, though, right? He walks him down, and the guy tells him a joke, and he stabs him, and then the movie ends with.
Yeah, he
like die.
Basically tells him a joke about killing a Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then cuts his cheeks in the background.
But some people are like, why would you end it like that?
Because it's a terrible movie. It should have ended into
the Nolan universe.
Should have ended so long ago.
Yeah.
Should have ended at the first one. Man, it's weird. I hate to be one of those people that just hates on things, because I generally do that anyway. But this movie was just so fucking boring. Like, I cannot overstate how boring it was. It was like how some people that don't like high fantasy, like, hate Lord of the Rings. My wife hates Lord of the Rings. She thinks it's so boring. That's what this movie was to me. And I love comic books.
And your wife likes this movie though.
No, she was like, I have gaga blinders is what she said. But
I think I do too. We talked about this. I think I do too. So
yeah.
That's
so
why I'm
those,
like, maybe I'll
those
love it.
portions were plenty entertaining.
Yeah.
But they're not all that much, you know.
But yeah, but I also could realize that that's not what the movie is. And then if she's not like, it's not like A Star Is Born where she's the character, or the other movie with Kylo Ren.
Yeah. You know, it's weird though. When you watch it, you're like, when she's not wearing makeup and stuff, I mean, she's still pretty, but you're like, she has small teeth. You're like, she's doing something with, she's getting some plumper in her.
She's got a teeth person.
Well, she's getting injections in her lips. You can tell.
Why not?
And it's making her teeth look smaller. I'm just saying.
Why not? Yeah, I'll see this movie on streaming, and we'll do a short episode with my actual opinions. I have looked at and read most about what happened, so I know.
Don't give this movie money, everyone. Please don't give this movie actual money. It's boring.
Well, I am a person that does. You know, I don't know if you know this about me, but
you like steaming piles of shit. Don't go see this.
I like crappy stuff. You know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, favorite.
Way better than this movie. Also, way better than this movie.
Now that you mention it, let's talk about that. I'm not a big, like, Rotten Tomatoes guy. I'm not a big cinema scores guy. I'm not. Right? I'm not, right? But when it comes to cinema scores, something this jarring, I think, is at least noteworthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
This movie has the worst score in comic book movies ever. And this is, and I don't think you're grasping, like, you hear me say this and you're like, oh, well, that kind of sucks. But I'm saying ever.
Yeah, ever.
Like ever. As in Catwoman with Halle Berry.
That's a good.
Elektra. Catwoman is not good. Suicide Squad.
Fantastic.
Oh my God.
I can watch Suicide Squad a second time.
Have you seen Madam Web yet?
I have not seen that movie. No.
I don't know if you I don't know if you guys actually went and saw it in the theaters.
No.
Watch Okay, then you have to do that. There's a few movies on here that I don't think you've seen. Fantastic Four 2015. I know you haven't seen it because we talked about doing a reaction to that together.
I haven't seen that. Yeah.
Let me read. Okay, let's cut the shit. Let me read the list. And if you're a viewer at home or listener at home that's a huge comic book fan, then you've seen these movies. Oh, then first of all, top of this list, I know you've seen this because we saw this together.
Wolverine.
This movie, Joker, is a D. Cinema Scores gave it a D. Bottom of the barrel, worst comic book movie of all time, right? Simon and I saw this movie together so many years ago. X-Men Origins Wolverine got a B+.
Oof. Yeah. I'd give it a better score than this movie.
Let's go down the list. Worst movies. Best to worst on the bottom of the list. X-Men Origins Wolverine, B+. Suicide Squad, B+. Catwoman, B. Elektra, B. Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds, B. Which I think that's fine. I actually don't hate that movie as much as other people do.
The worst thing about that movie,
I don't think it's good.
No, the worst thing about that movie is that the parallax is like, what is this thing? I guess it's a world destroyer. Who fucking knows what this thing is?
Yeah. I don't hate that movie nearly as much as everyone else does. Jonah Hex, another movie I don't hate as much as everyone else. I don't think it's good, but I don't think I hate it as much as everyone else does. C+, Jonah Hex.
I've seen that one.
With Josh Brolin.
Mm-hmm.
Justice League. C+. That's accurate. That movie fucking sucks.
Like,
Madam
which
Web,
one?
the original, the Joss Whedon cut.
Yeah, that one's terrible.
Sucks. Madam Web, C+, Morbius, B+, Fantastic Four. It says B-. I don't know why that would be at the bottom. Whatever. Fantastic Four 2000. Fantastic Van Four Stick. 15 is the bottom of the barrel, followed by Joker Fleur de Lis.
Florida Highlands.
Yeah.
Florida Floodlands. It's terrible.
So what Simon and I should do for our podcast YouTube channel is we should react to all of these movies.
Yes. I don't know if I can do it.
You haven't seen some of them, though.
I don't want to, man. That's why I haven't seen them.
I think it'd be pretty funny. At this point, watching Jonah Hex with you, I think it would be like a comedy.
If you want to hear me, hate on shit, yeah, sure, man. I'd love to do that.
Like after a few drinks, I think you would think Fantastic Four 2015. I think you would bust a gun. Maybe not. That was almost like anger level of X-Men Origins. Me watching Fantastic Four 2015.
Man. All I can say is that Joker sucks ass, dude. It's so
And this movie got worse. This movie got worse than I saw Madam Web in theaters, and no movie should be scored under that. No comic book movie should be scored under that.
Mm-mm.
And this is like way under.
Yeah, dude. Ugh. I can't even.
So now I have to see it, and now I have to be his number one fan.
Yeah.
On principle alone.
Yeah. Just got to do it.
I got to do it. I got to just wear Joker makeup in all my videos from now on.
Mm-hmm.
Start dancing weirdly down every step I see.
Yeah. Please. And also sing. Please sing a lot.
Yeah. Did you have any positive? Anything you like except for beautiful it looked?
Other than the cinematography, no. Even the music to me was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And it started even like, so there's a portion where Lady Gaga starts a fire, whether in Arkham, and they like kind of escape, but they don't really escape. Like I thought that if this were like a branching timeline thing, from that point, if they had actually escaped, because they get there and they're like, we weren't even trying to escape. We were just trying to whatever. Like, if they had actually gotten out and he started becoming like the Joker, maybe that could have been an interesting thing.
And it ended that way?
That could have been interesting if he had developed into whatever, but he just turned into the same like weird incel thing that he was. He got to come once.
Yeah, so just spiral into like.
Yeah, they put him in,
or even make it more of an obsession. Like he finally has sex with Harley Quinn. She gets off on his craziness, and then he gets off on like actually getting off with a chick.
That does happen. That happens. He gets put in solitary.
I know, but I'm saying, like, if the movie, like that, like you're saying, it ends with like, he'll just start feeding into it because that's how he knows he's going to get love. So he's like, then I'll just be more crazy.
Yeah. If it was like the opposite of every incel, that if they just got to have sex once, that they would stop being incels. Like, he starts being crazier.
Yeah, he starts diving into it.
He doesn't just like, you know what? This is life now. Maybe I don't have to be an asshole. Like women, they just don't like me because they don't like my personality, not because I'm not a nice guy or something. Whatever incel.
Puts on the fedora and he's like,
lady. Yeah. Actually, I'm starting to kind of like Arkham Asylum.
Oh God. No. That's it. I'm sorry. I have a weakness for those stupid videos now.
I'm starting to kind of like it.
Oh man, the movie sucked. I knew it was going to. I knew it was going to as soon as they announced that it was going to be a musical, and Tom Phillips was like, "No, there are musical themes, but it's not a musical. And it's like,
do not call it a musical, even though there are like several musical portions in this movie.
Man.
Yeah, it's fine, dude. Don't freak out.
Musicals are great. You're shunning the real audience of that movie. You wanted to make $1 billion? You bring in that musical audience. Those people are freaks.
Yeah, there's one part where Joker like
those people, I mean.
Yeah, black people. For all of you that don't know, nerds. Lex just pointed at himself. That's what I said. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah, there's one part where they did like a TV movie in this universe. They're like, oh yeah, I saw that terrible TV movie that they did about you.
So they do a movie of Arthur Fleck in the movie.
You never see it, but they talk about it.
Talk about it.
Yeah. But anyway, at one point they're like,
how long was he in there then? If they had
time for a while. Yeah. I mean, he killed 5 people. Murders the shit out of them. Kills a therapist. The first one. Fuck, it's so stupid. This movie's dumb, and I don't even care. Yeah. It's so stupid.
Where's Batman?
Yeah. Okay. I know we're at the end. We're circling the drain. Also. Yeah. So the first movie has like a Wayne thread that they pull on. This one doesn't even ever mention that shit again. Like the Waynes don't exist in this movie.
The first one mentioned like the Waynes a lot, as in like alluding to corrupt Court of Owls, like Waynes fucking kind of suck.
I think that's the Batman you're thinking of.
Oh, that is the Batman I'm thinking of.
Yeah, no, this one does. I mean, the first one they do mention and the dude punches him in the mouth. Like Thomas Wayne punches the Joker in the mouth.
Thomas is in this one. Yeah, that's right.
Not in the second one. They never mention the Waynes again, ever.
And then Kid Bruce is in this one, and he makes him smile or whatever.
Yeah, Kid Bruce. Mm-hmm.
He should be a teenager. He should be teen Batman. Just like
I thought when I saw the previews, I thought the dude that was real dapper was Bruce, but it's Two-Face. It's
Harvey Dent.
Yeah, Harvey Dent, not Black Harvey Dent, which I don't agree with.
Put Lando in there. The thing is, it just goes to show you how fractured. Now. It shows you how fractured the DC universe was before, and I think it should give people hopes for the current DCU, because it was like they had the Snyderverse, but then they were also pushing out this new Batman universe, and then they were also pushing out Joker, which is these 3 disconnected universes. And I know you don't have to have like universe for a movie franchise, but I feel like when it comes to comic books,
I don't know. I almost would rather see a really like no universe building, just a good movie. But I don't know. Do it one.
I mean, yes. But when it's like Batman's in Justice League, Batman's in the Batman villains are in the Joker. It's like you're making multiple stories off of like one property. Yeah,
the Joker shouldn't have been made.
That's weird.
Yeah, the Joker shouldn't have been made.
Yeah, Ben Affleck, Robert Pattinson, and Joaquin Phoenix all around the same like 2 or 3 years coming out. That's weird to me. I don't know.
It's terrible.
R.I.P. Joker. Probably not going to get a third.
Well, Todd Phillips definitely wouldn't be making it.
Yeah, he quit before the movie came out. He was like, "Yeah, I'm done with DC." For the record, this shit sucks. Just let y'all know. We have no desire to get an Oscar off this one. We just want to be done with it.
Yeah. I mean, shit. The people that run Warner, it's not. Whatever. It's not the DC people that are terrible. It's fucking the Warner brother.
WBD or whatever.
It's the Warner brothers and the Warner sister.
Yeah, they scrapped that Looney Tunes movie that was supposed to be good. Lots of people talked about how good that was. It was Wile E. Coyote or whatever. It was like some Looney Tunes movie that was supposed to be really good that they scrapped. A lot of Will Forte was in it. Like John Cena, all those guys were in it.
Would have loved that.
They shelved it. Like that would have been fucking great. Batgirl, Brendan Fraser. That looked good. Not Ben Affleck was in it. Michael Keaton was in it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. That makes more sense to scrap, I guess, because you're like starting a new thing. Like, why not take the tax credit or whatever from that? Because you wanted to separate from Michael Keaton. It seemed like they were trying to like really shoehorn Michael Keaton back into the universe with Flash. But I heard that tested well. I'm gonna shelve that. That'll never come out.
No,
even though it was a completely done movie.
People don't like girls in power. I don't know if y'all know this.
I don't know if you guys have heard the world-renowned artist Todd McFarlane. He said, if you are a comic book fan and you are a fan of girls, you're probably a serial killer. Hey, did you hear that interview with him?
No, I've never heard that. Mm-hmm.
Because people were like, yo, you're making a lot of weird figures, man. You're not making any of the predominant like women DC action figures.
I've heard that women.
They were asking, and so someone mentioned it in an interview, and he was like, "Listen, if boys buy action figures, right? And that's what his logic was. He was like, boys go to the parents to buy action figures. So I'm a little worried about the boys going to their parents to buy action figures about girls. I think those boys are serial killers." And everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking? And that was his justification on not making any like Black Canary figures. Because
Todd McFarlane, man.
It'll make little boys chop women's heads off when they get older.
Yeah.
We're circling the drain. Joker, Fleur de Lis, suck.
Fleur de Lis.
Never saw it. I will see it, and I'll give you guys an update on. I'm sure. Yes, I'll give you guys an update on what I think. But that's it. We're circling drain. I love you guys. I gotta pee.
R.I.P. Gotta pee.
Bye.
Bye. Well, you want to stop this?
Yeah. Yeah, we can go game. We're gonna do another episode.
Okay. I was like, I don't know if I have it in me.
No.
All right, save project. Save project as save the cloud, save the computer. God, that movie sucks, dude. Ugh.
Ooh. Exporting. Digga. All right. So are you gonna be awake to game for like 30 minutes or so?
Yeah. I'm gonna export this audio, send it to you, and then pee, and then
I'll send you an invite. Yeah, just emails to me, and then I'll do that shit tomorrow. Oh, hey, we're still streaming. I love you guys. Bing.
We're gonna go. Yeah, bye.
I actually might. I might start streaming. I think I have our audio picked to like both of ours. I think I might like not mess with Twitch anymore and then try to stream to our podcast YouTube channel.
Trying to cross.
I don't know how to do that, but I'll try to figure it out in the next 5 minutes. I love you guys. Bye.
Bye.